G'day! Seasonal greetings as it's nearly Christmas time here in Australia, and I thought I'd introduce you to the new HP OmniBook Ultra Flip 14. It's a 14-inch ultra light, ultra thin premium laptop. This is pretty much the rebranding of the HP Spectre X360, and I've actually done the review for that in around about September this year. If you haven't checked that review out, I'll put a link in the description below, but I'm going to keep it real here. I'm going to tell you what the difference between this OmniBook Ultra Flip 14 compared to the HP Spectre X360 2024 edition. Now, what is really changed? Of course, the processor has been upgraded to the Intel Lunar Lake, or what we call properly the Intel Ultra Core Series 2, and I do love this processor. It's probably my favorite processor from Intel at the moment, as I have really brought the game up, as we've got better battery life, better processor, and better temperatures there. So overall, I really like the new Intel Ultra Core Series 2, as it definitely has matured a lot better. Now, besides that, we've got some port arrangement changes, and also it's actually, now I'm just going to give you a quick so it's pretty much lost its USB-A port, and they've given you a USB-C port instead. But we've still got that nice little really cool unique angled on both sides of the back of it. I really do like this new angle arrangement of the ports, and the speakers has been rearranged. It still is a quad system speaker system, and it's from Poly Studio, so they definitely sound fantastic. And the other thing that you'll find is that the keyboard, even though it feels and looks the same, just only the top bar, as it's just more highlighted there, or the media keys are just more highlighted there, and that's about it. I find the actual display, the actual look and feel of it all feels the same as the HP Spectre X360. So I'm not going to kid you there, but we're going to have a look at other features there, like the temperature and fan noise, and of course I will be putting timestamps along this video so I can skip to a different section, maybe save you time. Now, as for the spec wise, again, processor wise, it is running the Intel Lunar Lake, or the Intel Ultra Core Series 2. Now, with the memory wise, has a maximum capacity of 32 gigs, and they are soldered to the system board, so make sure you get the correct amount, as you can't upgrade it later on. Now, as for storage wise, has a one slot of M.2, and that is a 2280 format. Now, with the actual graphics, it is using the second gen of Intel Arc, and they do definitely fantastic there, so I definitely like that. Now, the display wise, it still is a 3K display. It is a multi-touch display, and it is glossy, and it does support stylus. Now, I didn't get a stylus in this particular unit here, but check out my other reviewers or my peers that might actually do the line jitter test there. Look at the ports down on the right hand side of the computer. We've got two Thunderbolt 4 ports. Now, these have support for 40 gigabits for the data transfer, and also display port 2.1, and you can use any of these two ports to actually charge the laptop with. Now, as you see, one of them is on that nice edge, which is actually angled. I really love this angle here. It's very unique to the Spectre and also the OmniBook. Now, looking on the left hand side of the laptop here, we got another USB Type-C port. Now, this one has data transfer rate of 10 gigabits, so it's a little bit slower here, and also the display port is 1.4A. Just to let you know, this is a little slow, but you can also use this to charge the laptop with as well. And then we also got the audio combat jack. The OmniBook Ultra Flip 14 comes with a 64 watt-hour battery, and when I tested out the battery life, I managed to get 14 hours and 12 minutes for the Modern Office battery life test in PC Mark 10, 4 hours and 19 minutes for gaming, and 12 hours and 50 minutes for video playback on the Procom battery life test. Now, I consider this all-day battery life. This is a recording from the 1440p webcam from the HP OmniBook Ultra Flip 14. This is the video and the audio unedited, so you can hear and see what the quality of webcam is like. Now, kudos to HP for putting a high-def webcam, a 1440p, which is above the industry standard of full HD. That's fantastic because having a high-def webcam, you can always lower the resolution, but you can't really up it if you don't have the physical hardware. So that is fantastic from HP. Now, I'm in an outdoors environment at the moment. I've got two different exposure as I'm in the shade and it's quite bright behind me, as you can see, and this is I'll give you an idea how it handles the different exposure. Now, as for the audio quality, definitely love to hear what your thoughts of this 1440p. Put a comment below. The OmniBook Ultra Flip 14 has 4 speakers. There are bottom firing now, and there are 2 located on either side, and also the 2 on the bottom front. Now, being bottom firing speakers, this is actually helpful for when it's in tablet mode or in temp mode, as now the speakers are firing towards the user rather than away from the user. They are Poly Studio speakers, so they have been very fantastic in the past, and they definitely are great for video conferencing. Now, when I tested out the maximum volume of the speakers, they managed to measure a peak of 88.2 decibels. I consider this in the medium range compared to other laptops in the actual volume, which is absolutely fantastic for video conferencing in outdoors environment or in a busy cafe. Now, as for the sound quality of the speakers, these have good amount of bass. They're about mid-balance. It's pretty strong all-rounder, like the mids, the highs, and the lows. They're all pretty strong. We've got lots of reverb. It's got nice acoustics and great clarity. These are great sounding speakers. Looking at temperatures and fan noise, when I took my measurement, the ambient temperature room was 25 degrees Celsius. And just to give you an idea of how hot or how cool this laptop could be, my hand was anywhere between 36 to about 37 degrees Celsius at this room temperature. So I took my base measurement when the computer was idle, and the hottest air around the keyboard measured a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, it pretty much was silent at 35 decibels, and the average internal core temperature was 38 degrees Celsius. Then I put 20% load on the computer. It's pretty much average use as tasks like office activity work, surfing the web, streaming video, and the hottest air around the keyboard measured a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, it spun a little bit, but you barely still heard anything, and it measured in at 35 decibels still. And the average internal core temperature was 41 degrees Celsius. Then I put 50% load on the computer, and the hottest air around the keyboard measured a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, again, it stayed dead silent at 35 decibels. And the average internal core temperature was 48 degrees Celsius. Then I put 100% load on the computer, and the hottest air around the keyboard measured a maximum of 45 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, it did spin up a bit and measured in at a maximum of 40 decibels, and the average internal core temperature was 80 degrees Celsius. While I had 100% load, I also measured the bottom back cover, and the hottest air around the back cover measured a maximum of 44 degrees Celsius, and of course the fan noise was measured in at 40 decibels. Then I put the computer in tablet mode and put about 20% load on the computer, so hopefully that should be about the task that it would be running in tablet mode. And the hottest air around the tablet mode on the display side measured a maximum of 40 degrees Celsius. As for the fan noise, still stayed silent at 35 decibels, and the average internal core temperature was 40 degrees Celsius. As for the keyboard side, while it's in tablet mode, the hottest air around the keyboard side measured a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. So overall, the computer actually runs very cool and has very nice fan noise, pretty much silent most of the way through until you actually put quite a lot of load, and even then, it's not that loud at all. HP has done a fantastic job in keeping this computer cool and quiet. Examining the processor performance in the OmniBook Ultra Flip 14. Now this is configured with an Intel Core Ultra 7 258V processor. Now Intel reports this processor has a base clock speed of 2.2 GHz, so we do want to see this above 2.2 GHz. Now I've got a task that's pretty much smashing all the system resources. That's the processor, memory, and storage. Now that's been going for more than about 2.5 hours now, and we can see that the average core speed of the actual processor is anywhere between 3.2 to about 3.6 gigahertz. So I'm going to average that out around about 3.4 gigahertz, which is above the base clock speed of 2.2 gigahertz, which is absolutely fantastic. So we don't have thermal throttling on this, and we actually got keeping up quite a high speed, which is absolutely fantastic to see. Now we're going to examine a little bit more in depth into this, so we're going to have a look at each cores. Now it does have 8 cores, so we've got 4 performance cores, and they are sitting anywhere between 3 to about, I'll say about 3.3 gigahertz. And then we've got the efficiency cores. Now these are sitting quite high, which is anywhere between 3.5 to about 3.7 gigahertz. Now that is extremely high, which is absolutely fantastic, and that kind of gives you an idea of the average. Now also examining the actual temperatures of each cores, we can see that they're running at anywhere between 76 to about 83 degrees Celsius. So that is still got a lot of headroom, as most of the time they are rated to 100 degrees Celsius, but HP have done a fantastic job, and Intel have done a fantastic job on this new Lunar Lake processor, and they are keeping quite steadily and at a very safe temperatures there. So got a lot of headroom there, and it's just been fantastic to see these new Intel Core Series 2. As for the build construction, the OmniBook Ultra Flip 14 is made of entirely, mostly of metal. There is also plastic, which is of course in the actual bracing and the keycaps. Now that is actually also just to bring up the actual sustainability. We got more recycled metals in this OmniBook, and also more ocean recycled plastics in here as well. So HP done actually a great job. The actual packaging is 100% recycled, mostly in cardboard, so that's absolutely great to do. So HP doing their job in the sustainability of that, but overall just the feel of this is just premium feel. So you got nice rounded edges on all the corners here. You feel that nicely, and just overall feels great here. Now I'm going to quickly do the bend test, of course, for this. So it's really stiff here and sturdy here, so that's great. And we'll just check for the keyboard flex here. Now I'm putting quite a lot of weight. This is actually really sturdy. Okay, I'm just going to show you that. I can just feel that. I use the press, I can feel something, but this one I just don't see this one feeling the give here. So, and I don't hear any zzz from the fan, so it's just great. This is absolutely really well built from HP for this one here. Now we're just going to do the hinge test here, so I'm going to do one finger test for us, and that is really smooth, and then till I just get to like, well, I'll say about 7%, and it catches on, and it just takes a little bit more wiggling, and it's pretty much smooth all the way through. And of course, this being a flip or X360 as the whole thing is called, you can of course go all the way 360, and then it becomes, you can change it into like what we say tablet mode, or you can do what we say presentation mode here, and then there's also the good old temp mode, which I was in before, and then go back to the good old clamshell mode for the thing. But overall, great build quality from HP. Now I'm just going to do quickly for the wiggle test for this, and I do not see this the lids, it's just clamping and holding that strong. I don't see it wiggling or letting go. So great job on the hinge here, and of course it's been updated with the OmniBook on the actual hinge. Looks really nice and premium here, so feels fantastic. Great job. The touchpad is a nice large size touchpad. It's a haptic touchpad, so it's not a mechanical, but it has that nice feel that as if it was a mechanical touchpad. I really don't feel the difference between the two. That's how really that feedback is. So HP's done a fantastic job on this haptic touchpad. It's very silky smooth, and your fingers just glide so nicely over it, and it's very reactive, and of course it's multi-gesture based as well. Here's the results of the benchmarks performed on the OmniBook Ultra Flip 14. Here's the results for Pass Mark, City Bench 2024, PC Mark, 3D Mark, Cross Mark, Crystal Disk Mark, Geekbench 6, Procon Office, Procon Photo Edit, Procon Video Edit, Puget Photoshop, Puget Lightroom, Puget Premiere Pro, Puget After Effects, Puget DaVinci Resolve, Lux Mark, Mark, Eugene Engine, SpecView Pref 2020. in some gaming benchmarks like Far Cry 6, F1 2024, Forza 5, and Wukong Black Myth. My feelings for the HP Spectre X360 was definitely a great experience, and this HP OmniBook Ultra Flip 14 I find is even more enhanced. I find this system even more mature. Just the little bits and pieces just overall adds up. You can just feel it better. That is, the performance, we definitely get better performance. We've got better temperatures. The fan noise are actually kept even more lower, and so it's a much more quieter system. We've got great sounding speakers here, and we've still got that nice vibrant 3K display, which is quite nice in the color accuracy as well. And we've got that nice beautiful high def webcam here, and the great keyboard, and also this actually really feels this haptic touchpad I normally don't like, but this one feels great because it really does feel like a mechanical touchpad there. But overall, just that general feels, and I definitely love those angle ports here. Now the only suggestion is, even though we've lost the USB-A port, I like to actually see the reintroduction of the HDMI port in there, because I find that is actually a very useful port for presentations, as this could be used for business and doing presentation. This has that nice premium feel to it already, or I can actually connect it to an external display without having to go through dongles. So I definitely love to see the reintroduction of the HDMI port for the next edition. But else, this is such a great laptop and so easy to recommend, the HP OmniBook Ultra Flip 14. Now I hope you find this video informative and enjoyed it. If you didn't support my channel, smash that like button for me, share this video, does help me out, and as always, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting, and I'll see you next video.